Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for coming here and joining us. And special thank to Michael and I would not have gotten this award without their help. So I'm here because of your help. And how many of you have seen Squid Game? Okay, all 9 episodes? Okay. I just wanted to give you a quick premise so you can cover your ears if you don't want to know the plot twist. So I will move from misanthropy, cannibalism to a little bit more hopeful message about humanity, although the premise of this show is very misanthropic. So this is like this mythical, the mysterious Squid Game organization recruited 456 people in heavily debt or having terminal illness, nothing to lose. And they were instructed to play Korean children's game. Very brilliant premise, because Hwang Dong-hyuk was born in the same year as me, and I played this game as a Korean child. This was a nostalgic game of the 70s and 80s. And what they did not know is losing the game, elimination is immediate execution. And that's revealed in the first game. So those who failed to motion freeze, they were executed, machine gunned. 255 were immediately eliminated. So it ends with this 2-player game. And this is our protagonist who wins it all. In the beginning, he was good for nothing gambler. And then at the end, he actually emerged as this hero for our humanity, which is very moving. So I will talk a little bit about, there's a lot of celebration. Obviously, this was the biggest show ever in Netflix, most watched. There's a statistic that 1 out of 5 Americans saw it. I'm not sure we can actually trust that statistics. And Netflix actually labeled the dollar value of this show $890 million after spending $22 million. So it was a really huge deal for Netflix, and most of my students saw it. But there was also concern. This is typical media effects concern, this violence, ultra-violence, misanthropic violence, excessive violence in the show might have a detrimental effects on impression of viewers, especially children, and it might screw up their exams or soccer games, or even lead to domestic violence or road rage or air rage. So these concerns were expressed in Korea before this developed into national euphoria, because I was there in Seoul when this happened. There were some other concerns, like the misogyny in the show, for example, or the accusation of plagiarism, because this genre, death game genre, battle lawyer, or kaiji, this derives from Japanese genre in animation or manga. But our star, Lee Jung-jae, said, no, you really misunderstood this show. And this is not about misanthropy. It's not about violence. It's about altruism. And it's drawing upon Korean ethics. And asking this question, what it means to be a human being. And I was approached by CNN twice. I did a CNN interview twice. That's why I developed this project. This will be my next book project. And they were really wondering why this show became such a big deal. And I want to kind of explore that answer with you today. This actually, by the way, this article I'm presenting will be published in the International Journal of Communication, so you can read a full version. And I took a bus in Seoul every day, and this bus campaign, it's kind of supporting that Lee Jung-jae's interpretation of the show. It's about kindness. It's about altruism. And this particular symbol, those of you who saw the show knows that episode 6, Ganbu. So Ganbu is this Konglish, Korean English, coming from camp. This is a pack. Children made this pack in the 70s and 80s while they're playing marbles on the street. These are your best friend who share everything. That's the Ganbu. So this is long forgotten word in Korea, but it came back with this show. This is You cross pinkies, and then you thumbprint, and that's your combo pack, and then you share everything, your marbles and playthings. And this is basically saying, let's do that in our internet, digital world. Let's be more considerate, let's be kinder. So this is sort of governmental campaign, city campaign, which support that idea about show is not about misanthropy, about violence, it's about altruism. And Hwang Dong-hyuk himself said that my show is not about this genius who solve all the mysteries or difficult games. It's about ordinary people who step forward through mistake of others. So if you saw the show, this is the second to last game, stepping stone. And previous contestant might guess wrong and then fall to death. But the people behind them, through the mistake, they learn from that mistake, and they also kind of encourage the previous contestants before them to guess it right, so that they can also live and pass through. If you saw the, but there's a lot of collaborative elements in this show, which is counterintuitive to the premise, because only one person can leave that compound with 38 million. So everybody else, at the end, everybody else, over 450 people were all eliminated, executed, and then only one person leave. And this is a little bit complicated, but player number 1, he has a terminal illness. And then player 456, our hero, they make a combo pack. And then this is what saved his life. Because everybody else avoided this guy because the game before this was tug of war. So when they were asked to make pairs, they assumed this would be cooperative. So they tried to get the best body, like a strong or whatever, and nobody wants to be his playmate. And our altruistic hero chooses him. That's what saved his life. And again, there's a plot twist because his combo gave the last marble, and this is yours because we share everything with combo. And his relationship with North Korean defectors, Hae-byuk, is interesting because these are the final 3 who survive. And she initially steal his money, pickpocket. The Hae-byuk is a pickpocketer, and steals his money. So their initial relationship was antagonistic. And ultimately, Hae-byuk is injured in the stepping stone, that penultimate game. And he's willing to give up everything. There's one clause they sign: if majority won, they can leave. And he is willing to this chance at 38 million to save her life, as opposed to his alter ego, once his friend, who turned out to be, a little bit shadier, financial crime. He committed financial crime. He basically executed her to prevent him from stopping the game, prevent our hero. So you really see good and evil, and ultimately they're the last players, and he's obviously willing to kill him, but he won everything. He won, but he asked for stopping to save his former friend's life. And then his former friend commits suicide. And that's the end of the, I know I ruined everything if you did not watch the show. But I do want to talk a little bit about the ending, because ending is enormously moving to me. Now he has the choice. He got this 38 million, and he didn't touch the money for 1 year because he was traumatized by the death of these 2 people, Hae-byuk and Sang-woo. And ultimately, he put himself together and gave a chunk of money to bereaved families of his friends. And then he is about to go to Los Angeles to reunite with his estranged daughter. And then he found out there is a second round of, actually there's going on more than second round, but there's a US round of a Squid Game now happening, and they're recruiting youth contestants. And he called that the frontman of organization and declared that, because he was told that why they're doing it is that rich Americans are betting on this Korean's life. Rich Americans invested millions of dollars. And they're kind of like horses, the race horses. So he declared, I'm not a horse, and I'm a human being, and I cannot, forgive what you're doing. And then he gave up that chance, going to Los Angeles, seeing his daughter. And then our director said, promises us that he's going to come back to save the world. I think this message is very, very moving to me, because in Korean cinema or media, they don't save the world, it's Americans who always save the world, right? I mean, in American cinema, Hollywood, it's Americans who always, American cinema is about the saving the world, not Korean cinema. And this is very, very moving to me, because this was the time about 4.6 million had died of COVID by this time. And then I think the COVID really exposed weaknesses, faults of American individualism and autonomy. And this message of altruism and Korean ethics of interdependence, how that spoke to minds and hearts of millions of viewers around the world. This is why I love this show. It's just amazing. And thank you for your listening.